Hello and welcome to another IELTS speaking practice video by Johnny IELTS, and here I am with 4 of my students from class IELTS 38. So they are doing their regular speaking practice. So class, are you ready for your practice as always?
Yes.
Yes, I'm
Alright,
ready.
so we did a few topics last time. We did 18 already, so let's do 19 today. 19, right? So color, we did this one already. So 19 is about your country. Nói về đất nước các bạn. Talk about your country. So of course, your country my country is the same. So it's all about Vietnam. So Mr. Nguyen, please. So which part of your country do you want to live in? Like the north, the central, or the south? The north, the central, or the south of Vietnam? Like which part do you want to live in and why, Mr. Nguyen?
I think I like to live in the north because there are many things about culture and
Oh, you enjoy northern cultures more? Oh, really?
yes, and also the weather out there.
The
I
weather
like
is
the
very much
weather.
like in Europe
Yes,
because there are
and
4 seasons actually. Yes, the weather is very much like in Europe. But the problem is when it's hot, it's extremely hot, and when it's cold, it's really, really cold. Okay, so
yeah.
Mr. Nguyen, what makes you feel proud of your country?
So I'm proud about my country.
I am proud of my...
I am proud of my country about the economy, the history, and the people in Vietnam.
And the people in here.
People
Like
in
in
Vietnam.
particular, what are you proud of? In particular, cụ
Không
thể, like in particular, what are you so proud of?
I think it's about in history, Vietnam is the country that have many years to fight
Vietnam
fight the
managed
invader.
to defeat many strong enemies. Việt Nam đã cố gắng có thể là đánh bại được nhiều kẻ thù mạnh. Well, Vietnam managed to defeat many strong enemies in the past, including
Like China, France,
including the
and
Chinese, the French, the American army as well.
yeah.
Okay, and then of
Vietnam
course
have
the Mongolian too. The Mongolian, you know Mongolians, like
yes.
quân Nguyên tính là quân Mông Cổ đấy, like
Mongolian.
the Mongolians army in the past as well. Anything else?
And the progress to development the country.
Exactly,
Vietnam
the
have
progress of the development of a country. The progress, the development of the country is actually something that we should be proud of. What do you think, Miss Uyên? What makes you feel proud of Vietnam then?
Well, which makes me proud of my country is
Because something, the things
because
that make me proud of my country, the things that makes me feel proud of my country are
the cultural heritage.
oh, the cultural heritage.
Cultural heritage.
The food, of course,
Yeah.
the food.
Yes, the cuisine, Vietnamese
The
cuisine
cuisine.
is very the cuisines is very delicious and tasty.
Well, we say the cuisine is actually our cuisine is very rich. We don't say the cuisine is very
Very
delicious.
rich.
We say the food is delicious, but we don't say the cuisine is delicious. Mình nói là ẩm thực rất là giàu có chứ không phải nói là
Rich.
ẩm thực thì là rất ngon. Mình phải là thức ăn thì rất ngon mới đúng. The food is delicious, but the cuisine is very rich.
Rich.
The cuisine
And đa dạng nữa.
It's varied. It's very varied. It's highly varied. It's varied
Diverse,
and rich.
varied and rich.
It's very varied and rich. So people can from all over the world can enjoy many different dishes. Đưa ra cái hệ quả chẳng hạn, like give a cause and effect sentence. So the cuisine is varied and rich. So quan hệ nhân quả, điều đó dẫn đến điều gì? What does it leads to? Con người từ nhiều đất nước khác nhau có thể ăn rất là nhiều chủng loại khác nhau thức ăn ở Việt Nam.
Many people from
many people
from many from many countries, you can enjoy many kinds of food, Vietnamese foods.
Okay, so Miss Uyên, please. So, which part of your country do you want to live in, Miss Uyên, and why?
Oh, I want to live in the.
I would like to. Let's be polite. Be careful.
I would like to live in the south. Nha Trang là ở
in the south, in the southern area, of Nha Trang.
In the south, yes, Nha Trang, and I can enjoy the.
Okay, so when you mention
Long
a
Beach.
name of a place, you should say where it is, like the southern area, area of Nha Trang, which is a coastal city. Mà là một thành phố bến cảng, một thành phố mà bãi biển.
Which
is a coastal city to the south of Vietnam, right? Which is a coastal city to the south of Vietnam.
City.
Mình nêu một cái tên nào đó không phải tiếng Anh thì mình phải diễn giải nó ra là cái gì nha các bạn. When you mention something, a name that is not an English word, a name that is not an English word, you have to explain what it is. Okay, let's try again. Which part of your country do you want to live in, Miss Uyên?
I would like to live in the south of Vietnam, is Nha Trang, which is the coastal city.
Which is a coastal city.
Which is a coastal city. I can enjoy the Long Beach.
Beach, y kéo dài.
Long Beach.
I can enjoy
with the fresh air. Long Beach with the fresh air. Besides, I can taste many kinds of seafood, fresh seafoods in this country.
Okay. And many kind of seafood, but at a very affordable price. Very affordable price. Giá cả phải chăng lắm luôn á thì. So, Mr. Dương, please. So, will you stay in Vietnam in the future, or will you go to another country? What do you think?
Okay, so in my future plan, I'm still learning university in Vietnam until finish my university.
Until you finish, and then you try to do master in another country, maybe.
I not think so. I going to learn another university in another country.
Wow, it's a good idea.
And find something interesting in another country too.
Find something
interesting in another country too.
Nha các bạn không có chú ý mấy cái lỗi sai được sửa, các bạn cứ sai mãi cả 100 lần vẫn sai. Be careful of your pronunciation. Try to fix them, otherwise you will still make those mistakes. Okay. Like 100 times, you will still make those mistakes. Okay, so Mr. Young, so since you said that you will try to study in another country, so tell me, what makes you feel proud of Vietnam then?
I think it's about our food, our history, and sometimes I think our people, because sometimes I heard about Vietnamese people, they do great things
They
that
do
make
what?
great thing,
They do great things, okay, such as?
great things,
Great thing.
Great things such as? Ví dụ
such
gì?
as
Great.
I don't remember, like Miss Universe, Tweety,
Okay, the
she
Vietnamese Miss
have
Universe, what's her name?
Tweety, I remember like that.
Okay,
So and
what did she
she's
do? What did she do?
have từ thiện là gì thầy?
Tài trợ, her sponsorship.
Yeah, she sponsorship and she go to
Tài trợ hay từ
Angola.
thiện?
Từ thiện thầy ơi.
Sponsorship là tài trợ, còn từ thiện là charity. You know these words are
Yeah.
easy, you know?
I
Charity.
don't remember. Okay, so
Okay.
charities.
She did a lot of charity work, right? So
yeah, so it makes Vietnam quite proud in another country. And like I remember Queen of England, Elizabeth.
The Queen of England.
She,
The Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II, isn't it?
yeah, she like to eat bún chả.
Oh, she liked to eat bún chả, which is
Really famous food in
famous.
Vietnam. Famous.
Which is a very famous Vietnamese dish, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then tell me, Miss Văn, please. So do you know the history of Vietnam? Do you know the history of your country well?
Actually, not. I'm really not a big fan of history. Actually, it was the worst subject during my school.
Yes. All right, so you just learned the subject through your school, but tell us, please, do you feel proud of the Vietnamese history?
Oh, however, I'm a Vietnamese, so I'm proud. I am proud of my home country.
I am proud of.
Proud of.
Cẩn thận. I feel proud of my
home.
Yes.
But
what exactly, in particularly, what makes you feel proud in the Vietnamese history? Like the fact that, like what kind of thing in particular that makes you feel proud of Vietnamese history? Then
the most thing that impressed me is my country's cultural value.
The cultural value, but we are talking about history now. So if you can mention about the fact that you can mention about the fact of the cultural heritage, that is also a part of history as well. Cái di sản văn hóa nó cũng là một phần của cái lịch sử chứ, of course. And
I can say that I am proud of my braveness.
Of your what?
My braveness.
Greatness, the greatness, cái sự vĩ đại ha, isn't it?
Không phải, can đảm á thầy.
I don't understand.
Like we are the poor country in the past.
We were a poor country, but within about 50 years, we managed to become a middle country already. Nước Trung rồi vậy thành nước Trung, không còn nước ra phát triển nữa đâu. We are no longer a developing country. Vietnam is on the verge to become a second world country, or we call the middle country. We are no longer a third world country. Không còn là nước thứ ba đâu. Bây giờ chuẩn bị thành nước Trung rồi. Vị thế đất nước nó lên rồi. Alright, so Miss Văn, which products are typical of your country? Like food products, clothes, furniture, jewelry, or any kind of household products. You can mention about a lot of them. Những sản phẩm nào là điển hình của đất nước bạn? Okay. You have to know this thing because we learned it before.
One of the typical thing in my country was is áo dài.
Of course, the áo dài. What is that?
Yeah. It is a traditional custom.
Costume.
Costume for Vietnamese.
Costume.
Costume.
Custom and costume are different. Custom, tập tục tập quán. Costume, costume là trang phục. Costume là trang phục, các loại trang phục khác nhau. Custom and costume are different. The costume.
For Vietnamese women.
Yes.
It gọi gì ta? It express. It help Vietnamese women express their elegance, their beauty.
Their elegance and their ability. Yes.
Their beauty and yes, it is my country's signature clothes.
Right. Okay, you can also mention food product as well. So, Mr. Nguyen, do you know which products are typical of your country?
Oh, I think it's the rice. Rice in Vietnam.
Okay.
Vietnam is the second country in the world as export the rice to our world.
What do you mean the second country? You can say Vietnam is a country that export a lot of rice to other country. Not the first, not the country with the biggest export value. Nó không phải là cái đất nước mà có cái giá trị xuất khẩu lớn nhất đâu. It's not the biggest country with the biggest export values, but we are the second one.
Yeah.
So you can use the relative clauses to give information about what you're talking about. You do not need to use like fancy adjectives, compound adjective, you know. Không cần phải dùng những cái cụm tính từ nhìn nó phức tạp như nào. Dùng đại từ nhân xưng, dùng đại từ quan hệ, mở ra một cái mạch đại quan hệ cho rồi đi cho nó dễ. Okay, let's try again. So, which products are typical of your country, Mr. Nguyen?
So the rice is the typical in Vietnam, and Vietnam is the country have the big of amount rice export to the world.
Mm-hmm.
And Vietnam also export many of coffee to the world, just behind the Brazil.
Okay, sounds about right. Yes. Okay, so Miss Văn, please. So, what makes you feel proud of your country, beside from the products and the history? What makes you feel proud of your country? So, you mentioned something about the fact that we were a poor country, but then now the economic developments makes us a much more richer country now. Is that what makes you feel proud as well, Miss Văn? Miss Văn?
The other thing that made me proud about my country was is beautiful destination.
Sorry, beautiful
destination.
What kind of destination? Is it tourist destinations?
Yes. The one that I like best was is Hội An ancient city.
The Hội An ancient city. It's not Asian. It's ancient city.
Ancient city.
It's Hội An ancient city, which is located in there. Mình phải giảng giải ra. We need to explain what
which is located in Quảng Nam province.
in the Quảng Nam province in the central Vietnam, right? Ở miền Trung Việt Nam, right? In the central Vietnam.
It has a
Yes, what does it have?
cổ xưa hả? Rustic. It has a
It has a
rustic.
rustic. Very good. It has a rustic.
Rustic. It
has a rustic style,
rustic
isn't it?
with architectural structure.
Okay, a rustic
From-
style and traditional architectural structure.
Architecture.
Okay, very good, Miss Văn. So, Dương, please
Phố đẹp nhất thế giới.
tell us about what makes you feel proud of your country.
You asked already.
You answered that already. Okay, so do you know the history of your country well?
A little bit, not too much. I think I still remember about Hai Bà Trưng and something else. Yeah. Have you ever heard about how Hai Trưng sister died?
No, they just
Yes.
fight the enemies. I haven't heard about anything like that. Yeah.
Okay, so Trưng sister, because of some things I don't remember, they sacrifice themselves.
They sacrifice themselves to save the country, isn't it?
To save, just because of rồi nhục và sao?
I don't think you need to talk about those things because that's not what makes you feel proud of your country. I think not what the history of the country well.
Okay.
Or just to not feel the shame, I think.
But I still remember
To keep face là giữ mặt á, giữ thể diện á. To keep face or to basically, yeah, I think to keep face. Anything else?
So I think I don't. So I remember that she's they are the first queen. The first queen of Vietnam to stand up and fight with the enemies.
To fight
colonies.
with or to fight the enemy?
To fight the enemy.
To fight the enemy, không có with nha. To fight the enemy. Careful, because fight with someone means that you fight on the same ground with someone as your comrades.
Okay.
If you fight, for example, if you fight with someone, it means that that person will help you fight another person. Fight with someone là chiến đấu cùng với ai á, là sẽ cái người đó người ta sẽ giúp mình để đấu lại một cái người khác. Be careful. But in this case, you have to use to fight someone. Okay? Fight someone mới đúng nha, chứ không phải là fight with someone nha.
Okay,
alright, let's go to part 2 now. We should go to part 2, topic number 24. There you go, this one. There you go. 24 is... What is 24?
Argument.
Describe an argument. An argument. Những làm đầu nha. Argument. Cuộc tranh luận. Cuộc tranh cãi. Describe an argument two of your friends had. Miêu tả một cái cuộc tranh luận mà hai cái người bạn của bạn đã từng có. You should say when it happened. Nó diễn ra lúc nào vậy? What it was about. Cuộc tranh luận nó về cái gì vậy? How it was solved. Cuộc tranh luận nó được giải quyết như thế nào? Explain how you felt about it. Giải thích bạn cảm thấy thế nào về điều đó. And then part 3 is also about arguments. Why do family members usually have arguments? What do family members usually have arguments about? Những thành viên trong gia đình thường có những cuộc tranh cãi về cái gì? Well, think about money. Think about spending. Chi tiêu, chi xài. Think about money. Think about Relationship, of course. Tranh cãi về các mối quan hệ, yeah. Like for example, should you date this person? Should you not date that person? Có nên cặp bồ với ai? Không nên cặp bồ với ai? Something like that. This can spark a lot of argument. But they would never, I think, have argument about hobbies. Almost never. Gần như chưa bao giờ gặp cái vấn đề mà phải tranh luận về cái sở thích của nhau, you know, I think. And so, what else? They can also argue about the difference. There are differences in personalities. Những sự khác biệt về tính cách. There are differences in personalities, like how people deal with problems. Con người ta đương đầu những vấn đề như thế nào. There are differences in personalities, of course. What else? But most of the time, I think they have arguments about money. Phần đông là cái cuộc tranh luận nó về tiền bạc mà. Or education. Về giáo dục nữa nha. Điểm số của con cái cũng gây tranh luận. Sometimes the academic performance, nó gọi là thành tích học hành, can also be a subject of debate. Chủ đề đem ra tranh luận. Can be a subject of debate of family members, của những thành viên trong gia đình. Alright, and you should talk about a lot of things related to that. So, is it easier to have arguments with family or with friends? Liệu có dễ dàng để có những cuộc tranh luận với gia đình, hay là dễ dàng có những cuộc tranh luận, những cuộc tranh cãi với những bạn bè hơn? Think about how we can be more open. To be more open with someone. Có thể dễ dàng mở lòng ra với ai hơn. To be more open with someone. Think about there are things that people would not feel comfortable talking about to their family. Có những thứ mà người ta sẽ cảm thấy không có thoải mái để nói chuyện với gia đình họ. There are things that people would not feel comfortable talking about to their family, but they can talk to their friends. Like for example, relationships with love relationships, dating advice, mối quan hệ tình yêu chẳng hạn. Love relationships, dating advice, lời khuyên về hẹn hò. Of course, people would not ask that with the family. Most likely, they would not. Or advice on, like, friends relationship. Advice on friendships, you know, về tình bạn chẳng hạn. Advice about money. So, what about advice about money and education? Most likely they will have an argument with family about education and money, I think. Think about the choice of the object purchase, like the different choices. Những cái sự lựa chọn khác nhau. Like for example, if the husband buys something that the wife doesn't like and think that it's just a waste of money, then there would be an argument in the family about that, you know. Một cái chuyện rất là đơn thuần thôi. Chồng mua đồ mà vợ cảm thấy phí tiền quá, sẽ tranh luận, sẽ cãi nhau. That is a very common argument that family members could have. What else? Okay. But the question asks about, is it easier to have argument with family or with friends? It depends on what you think. Các bạn phải trả lời đúng vào cái nội dung câu hỏi nha. Liệu có dễ dàng hơn để mà cãi nhau, tranh luận với gia đình hoặc là với bạn bè không? Cái nào dễ dàng hơn? What is the best ways? What are the best ways to avoid argument? Có những cách nào tốt nhất để mà tránh những cái cuộc mà tranh cãi? Well, be creative about it. I'm not going to tell you because I'm sure you know how to answer this question. Number 4. What causes arguments between countries? This is difficult. Điều gì gây ra những cuộc tranh cãi giữa những đất nước với nhau? So, phần đông nó là quyền lợi. Most of the time it's benefits. Quyền lợi. Most of the time it's the benefits. Territorial or territory. It's about territory, về lãnh thổ. Or you can talk, most of the time it's about territory. Like for example, between China and India, giữa Trung Quốc và Ấn Độ chẳng hạn, có cuộc tranh chấp lãnh thổ rất là thường nhật luôn á. It's the argument between China and India over territory. It can be arguments over resources, natural resources, tài nguyên thiên nhiên nữa nha. Just like what China and a lot of countries in Southeast Asia are debating about natural resources in the on the sea to the east of Vietnam, trên cái biển mà nằm phía đông của Việt Nam á. Like there's a lot of resources, petroleum, oil, petroleum, and other kind of natural resources, natural gas, khí đốt tự nhiên, natural gas. What other arguments? Nó có thể nó argument về cái cách hành xử, cái luật pháp của từng đất nước khác nhau nữa. It can be the arguments over mistreatment of citizens. Sự đối xử không tốt với những công dân chẳng hạn. Or just you can give examples that if someone go to another country and they commit a crime, then the host country might punish the offenders in the way that might offend the other country. You remember this one? When we talk about crime, right? Ví dụ một người đi đến nước khác phạm tội đi, thì cái đất nước host country, đất nước mà đó có thể trừng phạt cái kẻ phạm tội đó theo cái cách mà cái đất nước của cái người mà phạm tội á sẽ cảm thấy là nó quá mức và họ sẽ nổi nóng, họ sẽ biểu tình chẳng hạn. Alright, argument between countries can often happen. There could also be argument between like country in terms of the treatment of students, the treatment of people going abroad. Cái sự mà đối xử đối với lại những người sinh viên du học hoặc là với những cái trường hợp mà liên quan đến cảnh sát á, thường là như vậy. Like crime thường liên quan đến tội phạm. You know about the story of 20-something Vietnamese died in the container in England, right? Câu chuyện về hai mấy người Việt cái chết trong container ở nước Anh đó. That is actually a massive case, một cái trường hợp rất là lớn luôn á. That sparked a lot of debates. Nó sparks a lot of debate. Nó khởi đầu, nó đánh lửa, đánh lửa, khởi đầu rất là nhiều cái sự tranh luận luôn á. A lot of debates around the world. Và nó ảnh hưởng nghiêm trọng đến cái uy tín của quốc gia. It heavily affects the reputation of the country. Ảnh hưởng nặng nề luôn á đến uy tín quốc gia đó. And it also cause argument because the way the government the way the government handle situations. Cái cách mà chính quyền xử lý những cái tình huống nó có thể gây ra debate. Can cause a lot of argument between the way the government handles situations. Different. What else? Just keep thinking about that. This is a hard question. Alright, so 24, you have about 3 minutes to think about this topic. Now, 3 phút, bắt đầu. Alright, time to answer it. Now, Miss Uyên, please. Can you describe an argument two of your friends had? Be careful, past tense. Quá khứ nha, cẩn thận.
I would like
Two of your friends had, okay? So it's not an argument between you and someone else, but it's an argument between two of your friends. Cuộc tranh luận giữa hai cái người bạn của các bạn, chứ không phải là cuộc tranh luận của bạn với lại người nào đó khác nha. Be careful.
I would like to talk about a silly argument that two of my friends had.
What argument? What kind of argument?
Yeah.
Cẩn thận phát âm của em. What kind of argument?
Kiểu mà hơi ngốc nghếch đó thầy. Silly.
A silly argument.
A silly argument. A silly argument happened between two of my friends, Trish and Anna. Yeah, 2 years ago. 2 years ago, we went to the Future World authorized retailer of Apple to buy MacBook for
okay.
For me, yes. For me and my friend very give many advice to which variants of MacBook Pro or Air version.
Which variant of MacBook? Very good. Rất tốt. Variants. You use the right word. Sử dụng đúng từ đó. Which variants of MacBook to choose from and
Pro and Air. So it all started calmly as a friendly discussion. However, this discussion was immediately turned into an argument. The disagreement between Trish and Anna was about which is the best Apple.
Which the best way is. Nó không phải câu hỏi. It's not a question. Which the best way is.
Which the best way, the best Apple laptop currently in the market.
Which the best laptop currently in the market is.
Yes. So Trish side with the MacBook Pro, while Anna like herself with the MacBook Air. Both yeah.
Okay.
Yes, the friendly argument soon became very serious, and then I had to jump in. However, both of them put the strong and reasonable reason.
A reasonable reason. Wow. With their reasonable idea and opinions, with a reasonable opinion, I think it's better.
A reasonable opinion. And then we were not decide about our purchase.
We did not decide. You mean?
We did not.
We didn't decide.
Decide about which one we should purchase.
Which one to purchase? Like purchase rồi.
The purchase.
Which one to purchase?
To purchase. So then I told them to calm down. As they were adding more confusion. After
frustration.
That,
they were adding more frustration. Frustration. Cái
frustration,
chữ tr tiếng Anh nó nặng hơn tiếng chữ
Tr-
tiếng Việt nha.
tr-
Frustration.
frustration,
Frustration.
frustration.
The frustration.
And then I decided to ask the store representative to help us, and
The store representative. Yeah.
yes, the representative told us about the latest hardware update and the new chef with the very
Okay, it's
very
more than 2 minutes
sophisticated.
already. Hơn 2 phút rồi nha. More than 2 minutes already. Be careful. You're talking too much now about things and how
Yes.
it was solved and how you felt about it, please. Quickly.
Finally, I go
I went.
finally we saw it, and we agreed to go with the Pro variant of MacBook.
We went with, and then we went with the
MacBook Pro.
Oh,
Yes.
of course.
However,
it's more expensive, more money for the store.
yes. However, the argument was a little childish, but I feel their argument is
childish. Very
somehow
childish.
childish.
Very childish.
But I feel their argument helped me make the right decision. Their argument.
Are you sure?
Argument.
I felt that there are arguments.
Argument help us to make the right decision.
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 There's that. Decision.
Okay.
All right, good. Now, Miss Vân, please, can you describe an argument two of your friends had?
I would say about an argument happened, which happened last week, that me and my friends hang out at weekends, and we cannot decide which one to eat. Could not decide what to eat. One of my friends, Anna, want to eat pho. However, the other girls, she just ate pho the other day, and so we want to try pizza for Western taste. So two girls have a argument, and they asked me what to decide. However, I don't want to make any. I didn't want to make any.
To make them feel sad.
Anyone feel disappointed. So I make a suggestion that we can. I made a suggestion that we could eat the both of the dishes.
We could eat.
Yeah, we could eat.
Đằng sau modal verb chuyển thành nguyên mẫu hết. After the modal verbs, all the verb become its natural form. We could eat both of the dishes. We could eat both of the dishes.
And we all happy in that night.
Okay.
And I feel so happy because I felt so happy because However, I don't like either the two dishes, but I can I could gọi gì ta? Left my feeling behind and
I could leave my feeling behind.
leave my feeling
Because I
behind
could leave my feeling behind. And
that I have saved the moment for everyone.
okay, good enough, but it's a bit too long. Try to squeeze it down to 2 minutes, I think. All right, good. Mr. Nguyen, please describe an argument two of your friends had, can you?
So I don't have any. I don't saw any arguments from my friend ever.
Say
So I
what?
don't.
What do you say?
I don't see. I don't see ever the argument of my friends. So I don't know how to describe it.
You still have to describe it anyhow, in any way. You still have to. Try to make up a story. Try to make up a story. You cannot just say, I don't have anything to say. You cannot say that and expect to have a good grade. Không thể nào cứ nói như vậy mà tự nhiên sao yêu cầu ta sẽ được điểm tốt được, không có nha. You cannot say that. Try to explain, try to make up a story. Chế ra một cái câu chuyện đó chẳng hạn. Alright, so Mr. Yoon, please describe an argument two of your friends had.
Okay, so it's been a long time ago that two of my best friends have an argument um about the theory of the game.
Okay.
So it started about when the arguments, the different theories of that game, and they have fighting to each other,
Fighting to
debate
each
for
other, are you sure?
fighting each
They
other.
fought
Oh
each
my god,
other.
I'm so sorry.
They fought each other.
They fought each other for about 2 hours just because of it, and so I didn't solve it, and I just sit there because I'm neutral, so I just sit there and
I just
who
sit there and watch them argue, huh?
yeah,
I just sat
maybe
there. I just sat there.
I just
I
sat
just
there
sat there and watched them argue.
And maybe sometimes I've been pour more oil, more gas into the fighting.
To pour more oil to the fire, right?
Yeah.
Thêm dầu vào lửa. Oh, what a good friend you are, huh? Pour more oil to the fire. Thêm dầu vào lửa. Oh, thật là bạn tốt nhỉ?
Why not? We have much more trauma for that.
Oh, wow. Such a good guy. Such a nice guy to have. And how you felt about it?
So after 2 hours, we have solved it, and so I felt quite fun, and I can tell anyone about it. And I have a nice day after that.
I had a nice day after that.
I had
I
a nice
had
day after
a nice day after that.
I had a nice day after that.
Okay, good. Now, okay, Mr. Nguyen, are you ready to describe an argument two of your friends had? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm still not ready.
Please. Please describe it. If you cannot, okay, then just describe it, please. We're listening to you. Come on.
So, I can't.
Okay, if you cannot, then let's go to part 3 of arguments. So, Mr. Nguyen, what do family members usually have arguments about? What do you think?
So my family just have some arguments about history and the economy.
Argument, are you sure?
Argument.
Say again.
So my
Say that
family,
again, please.
so my families just have some argument
Mm-hmm.
about the history and about the history
Okay.
and how I learned in school.
Okay.
Like sometimes me with my dad, with my father, have some argument about uh, the progress the progress of the South Vietnam, and we discussed that.
Okay. And how you felt about it, how it was solved.
So my dad will have more knowledge than me, so I always uh, lose the debate.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so let's talk about family members. Okay, I see. All right. So, what do you think, Miss Uyen? What do family members usually have arguments about?
I think arguments happen over the small issue within our
Small. Are you sure?
small,
Small. Kéo
small,
dài. Over
sm-
small issues. Over
small
small
issue.
issues.
Like what should be
Such as.
made, such as what should be made for the dinner, or what
Whether to go
movie.
out or whether to go out to eat or eat in. Ra ngoài ăn hay ăn ở
Yes,
nhà? Chọn món gì?
yes,
What to
yes.
eat?
And what destination we should to go on the holiday?
What destination to go on a holiday?
To go on holiday.
Okay, please
Yes.
continue.
And the other thing is like we talk about our studying or our working uh, happen within the day.
Okay.
Yeah. And especially my father and my mother uh, always argue about the polity uh,
Always
kinh
argue about
tế.
politics, right?
Yes, politics.
Politics, chính trị.
Politics.
Always argue about politics. And of course, there are a lot of different kind of politics. We have work politics. Chính trị nơi làm việc á, tức là mấy chuyện cung đấu, mấy chuyện mà đấu đá nhau trong nơi làm việc, nó gọi là work politics. So all the dramas and problems between people in a workplace is called work politics. And you need to know this as well.
Politics.
Everywhere, every place has their own politics. Cái nơi nào có người là nó sẽ có cái chuyện chính trị của riêng nó.
That's right.
So, for example, wherever you work, there are work politics. Yeah. Who doesn't like who? Ai không thích ai. Who support who? Ai ủng hộ ai. And who is about to get fired? Ai sẽ bị sa thải. Something like that.
Oh my god.
Well,
It's
there
quite
are work
toxic.
politics. Of course, a lot of things. All right, so Ms. Uyen, is it easier to have argument with family or with friends? What do you think?
I believe the argument with friends are easier than with family because our friends are similar age group and have the same perspective.
Are you sure they are of the similar age groups? Because they are often.
They often.
Thường thôi chứ không phải lúc nào cũng vậy. They
Yes.
often because our friends are often of the same age group as we are. Our friends are often of the same or age group as we are. So, thường là cùng nhóm tuổi với chúng ta, cho nên are often of the same age groups as we are. So, it is easier to
It's easier to argue with them.
Okay, and the
then
differences between thinking and the style are not big enough,
yes, not good enough.
right?
Yes, right. Có cần phải
Good.
nói cái với gia đình không thầy?
Why not?
Uh,
Just make it bigger. Just talk about a lot of things longer,
yes.
please.
So it is quite difficult to argue with our parents because they have much experience.
They have much more
And
experience, and in their head, they always like parents are always correct.
right, that's right. And we must respect them.
Well, that is what happened in Asia, but around the world, it's not the same. But Vietnamese parents almost always think that they are correct and their children know nothing. That is a bad thing. Of course, it's a very bad thing. So it's hard to have an argument with family members, especially parents. But family also means like sisters and brothers, brother and sister too, you know? So what about it? Is it easier to have argument with sister, brother and sisters?
Yes, I think easier because we I don't know how to say.
Okay, what do you think, Mr. Young? Is it easier to have argument with family members or with
Oh
friends?
yes, it's really easy.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you just have to talk about something that's your family don't want to talk about, like sexual or something like that.
Sexual issues is taboo.
Yeah.
Taboo. You remember the word taboo, right?
Yeah, I remember. I'll just say some really bad word.
Những điều cấm kỵ, khó nói, chữ kỵ dài không ta?
Yeah.
Is it long Y or just a small one? Is it I or Y?
Không như nhau hết á thầy.
Cấm kỵ, y ngắn này phải? Yeah. Taboo or taboo, right? Okay. What about it?
Just sometimes you have problem with sharing
If there
words.
are problems, cứ have hoài.
If there are problem with sharing,
có have hoài. If there are problems.
If there's problem with sharing housework with each other.
What about it? We have machines that can help people now.
Yeah,
even
but
dishwashing, we can use dishwasher, washing machines, and all the fancy equipments. Why have to argue about doing housework anymore?
But in Vietnam, they still don't have
They
much.
still have. Are you sure? There are still.
There are not really much machine.
There aren't many, or there aren't much.
There are much family use machine. They still use. They still do it.
Okay.
So I think it will have a big argument with sharing
It will
housework.
have a big argument. Are you sure? I think there would be a big argument between family members. Cứ have hoài à, chú ý giùm đi, please. Careful. Alright, so Nguyen, please. So what are the best ways to avoid argument, Mr. Nguyen?
I think the best way to avoid the argument is don't talk about like the things that their point of views are not the same, and I think not talk about the something more mang tính tranh cãi, nó như thế nào?
Say again.
Dạ, mang tính tranh cãi.
Okay, mang tính tranh cãi, lời nói chống lại. What is that? Lời nói chống lại. Controversial. Remember that word? Controversial, mang tính tranh cãi. Remember this word? So control means against, chống lại. Verse là lời nói chống lại. Controversial, mang tính tranh cãi. About controversial issues is yes. Come, continue. Don't stop.
And I think if the point of views are not the same, they shouldn't close together because there will
They should
have a
what? They
big
should
war.
what? Say again. They should what?
They should not close together.
They should not be close together. Are you sure? I don't understand for real what you mean by close together. Can you say again?
Giống như
Không
kiểu
hiểu.
nói chuyện lại gần với nhau, ở gần với nhau.
So if they are close, nếu mà họ gần gũi nhau, nếu mà họ thân với nhau, if they are close.
Yes.
Adjective close, gần nhau, thân với nhau. If they are close, yeah.
If they close together, they can make a big debate about their point of view, and sometimes it can break the friendship and the relationship.
Okay. All right. Can break the relationship easily. Well, they say what you know what they say. The closer you are to someone, when there's an argument, it's really nasty. Càng thân với ai đó, khi mà xảy ra tranh cãi lớn thì nó càng nasty, nó càng tẩm lợm bao nhiêu. Không, thực sự là vậy. Càng không muốn nhìn mặt nhau bao nhiêu. So, by some reason, if people are not too close and they have an argument, then it can be easier to solve conflicts and arguments. But if they're very close and they have an argument, sometimes it can very negatively affect their relationship. Có thể ảnh hưởng rất tiêu cực luôn á đến mối quan hệ của họ. Alright, so Miss Văn, what do you think? What are the best ways to avoid arguments? Điều hòa mâu thuẫn. was like I learned about those terms when I was younger. Điều hòa mâu thuẫn.
Khó cái từ đó hả thầy?
Có điều hòa mâu thuẫn đó, like tìm cách lắng nghe, tìm cách xoa dịu, like to find a way to listen more instead of adding oil to the fire. Thay vì châm dầu vào lửa thì học cách lắng nghe. And then try to find the common ground. Ráng tìm gì? Ráng tìm những điểm chung. Common ground là cái nền chung với nhau, cái nền mà chung với nhau, tức là cái điểm chung của một cuộc tranh luận. Try to find a common ground. So to reach a compromise. To reach a compromise. Đạt được một thỏa hiệp. To reach a compromise. That is how we avoid arguments, you know. All right, what do you think, Miss Văn? What are the best way to avoid arguments? Không nói chuyện. To not talking, then we won't have any argument at all. Đừng nói thì khỏi cái tranh luận. Okay, what are the best way to avoid arguments then?
To me, the best way to avoid arguments is try to calm down. Whenever you calm down.
Is try to calm down and
whenever you feel hot, you in a temper.
Whenever a person it's angry or in anger, whenever a person is in anger, or you can say whenever a person is angry. Anger is a noun form of angry, you know. Dạng danh từ của angry thôi. Whenever someone is in anger or a person is in angry.
Is in anger, take a deep breath and count to 5.
Take a deep breath.
Yes, and count to 5. At that time, you will come and you will have a clearer mind to find the solution for the argument.
To find a solution for the argument, I see. All right, Mr. Young. So what causes argument between countries? What do you think?
Miss Politics, area.
Người mẫu từ
Maybe.
đất nước nào xứng đáng được làm Miss World hơn?
Yeah. Maybe
Which
just
countries' ladies deserve to be Miss Universe more?
Yeah. And some more like if there's a problems with each country on like online. Like there's some
Online debates, you mean? Online
yeah, I think online
arguments?
debate. Yes, I think so.
Okay.
It's quite hard.
Please continue. Don't let me stop you.
Okay, so so it's I think mostly it's about politics.
Politics. Những hành động
Politics arguments. Or some kind of that.
Okay, like who support who?
Yeah, who
Which
support
leader
who?
to support?
The place. Just maybe something else like areas. They share each area, or maybe it's about currencies too. Yes, I think so.
Okay. All right, good now. Okay, good. So I think Miss Tung Nguyen, I think you can answer this question. So what causes argument between countries? Let's try it.
I think it's about the religion and also religion. Sometimes it can be the politics about things like the right of human and the the right of the right of economic. Sometimes
Economic right, right? Quyền lợi về I think it's called economic rights, những quyền lợi về kinh tế. I think it's financial right or economic rights, such as who will possess, who has the right to harvest resources in this region, for example. Ai có quyền harvest, khai thác resources, những tài nguyên trong cái vùng này, in this region, for example. What else?
and about the history, like there are many of arguments about about the Pol Pot in Vietnam and Cambodia.
You mean Pol Pot, the Khmer Rouge, right?
Yes.
It's called the Khmer Rouge. In English, it's called Khmer Rouge.
And about the religion in the history of Vietnam.
Wait.
Also,
Rouge. Khmer Rouge. It's called Khmer Rouge. Khmer Rouge in English. And okay, like for example, between Cambodia and Vietnam, there has always been a lot of political argument between the Vietnamese intervention in Cambodia cái sự can thiệp của Việt Nam ở nước Cambodia. The intervention of Vietnamese army in Cambodia to fight against the Khmer Rouge. And the Cambodian people, a lot of them think that Vietnam invaded their country. But in fact, Vietnamese army helped to wipe out the Khmer Rouge, which is one of the most evil regime, in history. Một trong những cái regime, là một trong những cái thể chế chính trị. One of the most evil regime in history, một trong thể chế chính trị mà độc ác nhất, trong tàn ác nhất trong lịch sử. Okay, anything else? Very good, please continue. Very good, very good.
And I think it's the most about the religion, like the religions of the sea in Vietnam with the Asian and with China.
Of course, who deserve to be worshipped more? Ai đáng được thờ cúng hơn? Or who deserves to be worshipped more? Ai xứng đáng được thờ cúng hơn? Well, that can spark a lot of debates.
Yeah.
A lot of dramas, a lot of debates.
Yeah.
Ai đáng được thờ cúng hơn?
Phật với cả Chúa thì ai sẽ gặp nhau trước?
What?
Phật với cả Chúa thì hai người sẽ là gì của nhau?
Okay, good. Now let's go to 25. This is easy. We can do that in half an hour because we have only 3 people left now. I think Miss Oyen has an internet problem. She encountered an internet problem, I believe. Now, so 25, you have to describe a plan in your life not related to work or study. Miêu tả một kế hoạch trong cuộc đời các bạn nhưng mà lại không hề liên quan gì đến chuyện học hoặc là chuyện làm việc nha. Oh, when you wanna go? Okay, we can finish this one. You can go now. Have fun. And now we have only Dương and Miss Vân left. Don't worry, we can finish this one. So, đây là một cái plan trong cuộc sống, kế hoạch cuộc sống mà nó không liên quan đến chuyện học, chuyện làm nha các bạn. Like, it can be a plan about your self-improvement. Có thể là một cái kế hoạch về chuyện self-improvement, sự cải thiện bản thân. It can be a plan to go to the gym, for example, or the plan to learn a musical instrument, or a plan to pick up a hobby. To pick up a hobby, để bắt đầu pick up a hobby, bắt đầu có một cái sở thích nào đó, hoặc là đi gym, phòng đi luyện tập thể dục thể thao, hoặc là học một nhạc cụ, to learn how to play an instrument, a musical instrument. It could be a long-term plan on how to improve relationship, for example. Làm thế nào để cải thiện các mối quan hệ. Anything but work or study, okay? Bất kỳ cái gì miễn sao không phải là chuyện học hay là chuyện làm việc nhé. Okay, describe a plan in your life. What it is? Kế hoạch gì vậy? Why you have it? Là tại sao bạn lại có kế hoạch đó? What you need to do? Bạn cần làm gì? Explain how you would feel if it is successful. Miêu tả bạn sẽ cảm thấy thế nào nếu mà cái plan này nó thành công. And then part 3 of plans. What sorts of plans do young people often have to make? Những người trẻ thường phải lập nên những cái loại kế hoạch như thế nào? Should parents make plans for their children? Các bậc cha mẹ có nên lập kế hoạch giùm cho trẻ nhỏ không? So what could be the problem? Is it a problem about dependence on parents? Sự phụ thuộc vào cha mẹ chăng? When should children start to make plans for themselves? Khi nào trẻ nhỏ nên bắt đầu là lập kế hoạch cho bản thân chúng? Well, everyone has different opinions. So you can start thinking about when to make plans for themselves, when children start to make plans for themselves. And you should explain why you think. Why? Nên giải thích tại sao lại là cái thời điểm đó. What plans do countries need to make? This is a bit harder. Những đất nước cần phải lập nên những kế hoạch gì? Think about long-term development plans. Kế hoạch phát triển lâu dài. Think about what plan? Plans in all the aspects that they govern. Plans in all the aspects that the government control. Những kế hoạch về tất cả những khía cạnh mà chính quyền họ kiểm soát. Like for example, education, defense, quốc phòng, or defense like this. Plans about healthcare system, healthcare, chăm sóc sức khỏe, hệ thống chăm sóc sức khỏe. Plans about what? Plans about art. Plans about phát triển con người, human development. Phát triển con người thì cần phải làm điều gì? Cần phải phát triển về mặt trí lực và thể chất. Like we need to develop their physical and mental health. Their plan to have better physique, for example, có thể chất tốt hơn nhé. Or what else? What plans? Some countries need to make plan on how to do space exploration as well. Khám phá không gian nữa, kế hoạch khám phá không gian nữa. Some countries they make those kind of plans, you know. Alright, let's try to do this one in 2 minutes. Think about this one in 2 minutes. 2 phút suy nghĩ bắt đầu. Alright, time to do it. Now, Mr. Young, can you describe a plan in your life not related to your work or just study, please? Careful.
So in the future, I'm planning to go to the gym to have
To plan to go to the gym to build a muscle, right?
Yeah, to build more muscle because at right now I look quite skinny, but I'm tall, so I need more muscle. And my parents don't live together now, so I need to be a part of my father in
You
the
need to be
family.
what?
Like I'm take part my father working in my family,
Okay.
place in my family. So I need to go to the gym. And so and for some finding someone I love, so I need to go to the gym too. And so I need to so I think I need to encourage myself to go to the gym because encourage myself to go to the gym because I'm quite shy.
And you need a gym that does not. You need a gym that does not have so many people there. You know, you need a gym that doesn't have so many gymmers going there.
Yeah.
Because people judge a lot in the gym. You have to understand that.
I know.
Con người đánh giá dữ lắm luôn trong phòng gym ấy. Like people judge a lot in the gym. So to overcome your fear and your embarrassment, I would advise you to maybe go with friends, you know. Try to train with someone.
Yeah. So I think if I could successfully
That's a very good plan. So how you would feel if it is successful?
I think if it's successful, I think I will have a mark in my life in the future too.
Of course,
Because
it changed your body, and it's changed the way you look at life, and it changed your confidence. It will provide you with a lot of different opportunities. So it's like a life-changing, it's a life-changing plan or decision. Một cái quyết định thay đổi cả cuộc đời. It's actually a good life-changing decision to go to the gym. I believe so. Now, very good. Now, Miss Vân, please. So, can you describe a plan in your life not related to work or study, please? Hello.
I have plans. I have planned to travel to Europe in a month
Oh, that's perfect.
in the future. And if
Be
I
sure to visit Budapest, Prague, and Warsaw, Poland, Hungary, and then other Eastern European nations. Be sure to visit those.
I love the Tranquility Village in Bắc Âu, North Europe.
I love the tranquility in the north.
In the north
of
Europe.
In the north of Europe.
Like Sweden or
Sweden, Norway,
Florence,
Finland.
Florence in Milan. And I catch a picture of sunset in the river of Florence, and it was so beautiful. So I dream to travel to Europe. Someday I have.
Would you like to see the Northern Light, ánh sáng phương Bắc? The Northern Light is very famous. I think it's something you should put in your list. A list where to go to. I think go to the north of Europe and you can see the Northern Light. Ánh sáng phương Bắc đẹp lắm không ạ? It's really beautiful. You should search for it. Okay, how you would feel it if it is successful, please?
If I can go there, I guess that I was so satisfied.
Satisfied.
Satisfied. Because I love travel, and my current work that doesn't allow me time to go around and see the view. So if I can manage my job that I can take in a month, and I can have enough financial condition to afford the
To be able
trip,
to afford.
to be able to afford the trip, that I was so happy and satisfied that I can gọi là gì? Complete my dream.
Okay, I can conquer my dream.
Conquer
To
my dream.
conquer my dream. Oh wow. Hãy giống như là đạt được đến cái ước mơ, to conquer my dream, vượt qua chính mình. It's like, wow, that sounds funny. Now, Mr. Yoon, so what sorts of plans do young people often have to make? What do you think?
I think we usually have plans from studying, playing games, just being workout, have participate in some sport like basketball, football, maybe about art, like artists or music. Ta-da! And
What
so,
else then?
more further, we have deadline. Which we have to make plan to for the future to finish it.
Okay, to finish it. Okay, good.
Good.
All right, good. Now, so Miss Vân, what do you think? Should parents make plans for their children? Is it a healthy thing to do?
Yeah.
Have you had children yet, Miss Vân? If yes or no,
I single.
do you think parents should
I'm
do
single,
make
so
plans for their children?
I'm single, so I don't have any children. But if I have my children, my own children in the future, I will guide my daughter to plan for her life. Nói gì thế? Like when she was young, or when she was a little child, I will guide her to how to choose her elementary school, which subject that she like. I will like art or science, and so I will help her to choose her elementary school.
But you would definitely not make plans for your children, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I just help my children.
You will not take away the right to make plans from your children.
Give them suggestion.
Give them the right to choose to make plans for their own future. All right, so that's a good answer. So, Mr. Young, so when should children start to make plans for themselves?
I think it's
I think your brother should.
yeah, I should kill him.
I think your brother should zip it up. Okay, Young.
Okay,
you
so
can talk right now. So, when should children start to make plans for themselves?
I think it's about starting with primary school, like 11 or 12. They can start making plans for themselves. So they can make plan for themselves for the future. So that it will be gonna say,
Yes, I'm listening.
It will be a really important activities in their
Of
life.
course, it's a really important activity.
And it's a really good way.
But at what age group? This is the main focus of the question. When
I think
should
primary
children start to make
school.
plans for themselves?
I think primary school, like
Primary school
11 and
years,
or 12,
like
they can
about
start.
7 to 10, 7 to 11 years old, you mean?
Yeah, so at that time they can start making plans easily, like simple plans.
Okay, so you think that age group is good to make plans for themselves?
Yes.
So what is your supporting ideas then? Những ý tưởng để ủng hộ cho điều đó là gì? What do you think?
So I think they should making plans because at that age they start to know everything about time and what should they do with their time, because at that time go really fast.
Time goes by very fast and then you feel like you are the billionaire of time, tỷ phú thời gian. But then it also depends on the education, the family education as well. Nó tùy vào cái giáo dục gia đình nữa nha. Family education as well. Because some children, if they do not have their dependence, nó không có được cái sự mà tự giác, tự lập thì nó không thể nào make plan được. Like if children do not have their dependence, they cannot make plans for themselves. It doesn't matter what age groups, I think. Anyway, so Miss Van, so what plans do countries need to make? What do you think? This is just like the way, okay, this is just like my opinion, okay? Of course, everyone has a different opinion about different issues. Okay, but Miss Van, what do you think? What plans do countries need to make? Okay, this is a difficult question. How about you? You answer it as well. What plans do countries need to make? This is related to the units about governmental control, you know, state control. Nó liên quan đến cái bài về kiểm soát chính quyền á. So what plans do countries need to make? What do you think?
I think we need to make about currency plans. Like as right now, the money have really the really having really big problems with their own. So they need so the country need to plan about the politics, the way how their money go, and uh, and
And
and the studies in the future. They have to change the education and planning study in the future because it change every day.
okay, to change in order to adapt to the ever-changing environment. To adapt to the ever-changing environment, để thay đổi, để phù hợp với lại cái môi trường có luôn luôn thay đổi. And international standards, và những cái chuẩn quốc tế. International standards, những chuẩn quốc tế nó không thay đổi thôi. Like international standards do change through time, so countries need to adapt well in order to not fall behind. To not fall behind, để không có bị giống như là bị đi lùi về đằng sau á, không bị lạc hậu á. Alright, so what else then?
I think
about plans for defense. Like for example, Vietnam needs to build more ships, and we might be able to build carriers. For defense, we need to build more. We need to be able to develop our defense industry. Cần có thể phát triển được cái ngành công nghiệp mà quốc phòng. In order to make tanks, to make like weapons, make airplane, for example, something like that. Because now we still depend heavily on import. Bây giờ vẫn phụ thuộc nhiều vào nhập khẩu mà vẫn chưa tự sản xuất được. Alright, so I think that's good for today. Good practice for today, I think. Alright, so tomorrow we should be able to correct writing, okay?
Okay.
I'll see you, class. Okay, that's the end of my videos. Please like, share this video with your friends, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and press on the bell button next to the subscribe button so you can get notified about my new uploads, okay? You can also press follow my Facebook, but please don't add me on Facebook as friends, okay? Cảm ơn các bạn đã theo dõi nha. Các bạn hãy nhấn vào like, chia sẻ video này bạn bè các bạn. Nhấn vào nút đăng ký kênh YouTube mình và nút cái chuông kế bên cạnh để đăng ký kênh đó, để mà các bạn sẽ được thông báo về những video mới nha. Các bạn cũng có thể nhấn vào nút theo dõi Facebook mình, nhưng nhớ đừng kết bạn Facebook mình nha. Thank you and see you. Bye.